What is constitutional AI? It's a term that's coming up a lot at the moment, and most people don't really understand what it is. When you're interacting with AI, you expect three things. You expect it to be helpful, to be honest, and it not to cause harm. And the way it needs to do this is by using its internal constitution. And just thinking around this, how do you train values into an AI, and how do you do this at scale so anyone interacting with the model has these same values associated with it? Before we dissect how constitutional AI works, we need to understand the world before, where we didn't have this in place. And that was using a process called RLHF, so reinforcement learning from human feedback. And this was such a painful process. When we were training the AI model, we had to have a human in the loop to rate the output of the AI, judging if it was good, accurate, honest, valuable, and integral. And this had to be repeated millions of times. Such an intense activity to follow. And we really quickly got to a point where the AIs could produce output faster than swarms of humans could evaluate that. So it just doesn't really scale. So this is where constitutional AI comes in. And in simple terms, it's a set of written principles that an AI uses to critique and revise its own model outputs to make sure that it aligns to the values that we've set. And these values are set by humans once, and then these principles are used by the model every time it is trained. And this allows the model to evaluate its work at scale without human intervention needed at every single output produced. Now, the best analogy I can give on this is when a new employee joins a company. They are given a handbook and it sets out the values, how to treat customers, what to do in the case of emergency, and general protocols that you need to follow. And this is super helpful because it means as a new employee, you don't need to ask your manager every time you need to take a decision. You're just expected to read that handbook, internalize the principles, and apply them as and when needed. And that's exactly what we're saying is the usage of constitutional AI. So how does constitutional AI work in practice? Well, there are four main steps. The first step is given a prompt, the AI produces an output. The second step is actually looking up the constitution and seeing, does it follow the principles that are outlined? Is it truthful? Is it harmful? Is it honest? The third is the AI model critiquing itself against that constitution. And number four is feeding back the revised output based off the constitution to act as further training data. So it's a way to further and self-improve the model as it goes along. And just to be clear, the constitutional AI isn't a set of prohibited topics that the AI can't talk about. It's more around forming good judgment. And you can find these constitutions for all the big AI models on their website. As an example, looking at the one produced by Anthropic, it will say things such as don't create false impressions through selective emphasis, misleading framing, or technically true but deceptive statements. So again, it's more about framing as opposed to giving explicit instructions. And lastly, constitutions aren't checked in real time every time you send a message. They're baked into the training during that training set. So it's not a specific guardrail that exists that you can look at during inputs and outputs. It's something that's already baked into the model. Now, using a constitution doesn't guarantee perfect output. No training system would, but it's the best way to help us advance AI at the rate that we are seeing by providing it in a safe, meaningful, and secure space. And similar to real-world constitutions that we have in other countries, it provides a way for us as humans to feel safe and trust AI in terms of its outputs and its ability to help us in our everyday tasks. If this video made sense, feel free to subscribe for more and leave a comment down below. Thank you.